Hello, good morning, continuous liners. How we all doing today? It is a Thursday, February 1st. Oh my God, we screamed all the way through January. And I want to say hats off to those of you who did the 2024 gratitude sketch. I fell out of it midway. Why did I fall out? Something happened. I don't remember what. But sometimes these things happen, right? I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I'm just saying I did fall out of the gratitude sketch thing. And for those of you that carried on and continued on, congratulations. There's oftentimes going to be drawing challenges, and oftentimes it's just doing your storytelling, right? So February 1st is storytelling. Everyone's going to be doing their own storytelling. I'm here live on the streets in La Ciudad de Mexico. I'm here in Roma Norte. There's my hotel right there. Well, actually, I think it's right there. But it's right near this. I love this little corner here, right? Because there's an electrical shop right here. There's a cafe here. There's a little arts and crafts thing there. There's a plumbing shop right there. And there's a French bakery on the corner. Honestly, I think there's a bakery on every corner in this neighborhood. It's how things roll here in Mexico City. And so I have my fresh warm-up book here. What am I trying to say? My continuous line warm-up book here. I'm going to just move this down just a little bit. It's not about you seeing my paper, but I want you to know this is when I'm doing my continuous line warm-ups. And I have asked the question to some people, like, when I'm doing this video, are you doing your continuous lines? And people are like, oh, no, was I supposed to? No, there's no shoulds here, but I do it as a way to remind myself. It's how I it's one of the ways I stick to my practice is I do this. I'm like, oh, here comes my coffee. Beautiful. Muchísimas gracias. Gracias. All right, I gotta have a sip of my beautiful latte that just arrived here. Look at that, cute. It's like a Chicago Cub. Go Cubs. Delicious. First sip of coffee of the day. Yes, I love it. Okay, so it threw me off track here. Well, I was just going to do something and then I stopped. I'm just going to, actually, it's February. So we are going to do, it's all about hearts. So I am doing, and I usually, my whole shtick, I say don't draw things. And I agree with that, except sometimes I break my own rules. And so right now I'm doing in my continuous line hearts as my warm-up. So, my practice includes finishing big with a heart. As many of you know, I finish big with a heart as a way to remind myself to go easy on myself and go easy on others. But it being February 1st, I'm going to kick things off here with just doing continuous line hearts, right? Yeah, I think I love Mexico City. I arrived here yesterday, and I had to go to the Mac store because my phone it broke for 3 days. So weird, I could barely type. And as soon as I got to the Mac shop, it worked perfectly. And so I had nothing to. I was like, my phone's been broken and I haven't been able to use it. And they're like, well, it's working now. And I'm like, yes, I know that. But I'm scared. I'm traumatized now because my phone was broken for 3 days and I couldn't type without great resistance, right? And really, they had nothing. So what am I saying? Oh, yeah, I had to run around and do some errands, including try to save my phone that did not need any saving. And the good news is they did do a diagnostic testing on it, and I don't need to buy a new phone, because that was kind of my fear. Like, I'm not quite ready to buy the new $1 million iPhone yet, and I don't have to. My phone is still pretty good. Look, there's a heart in my latte as well, right? So it's all about hearts. So I got sidetracked there, as I do. Oh, yeah. I don't like to draw anything when I'm doing my warm-ups, but it's February, and I'm in Mexico City, and I see hearts everywhere. It's in my latte. It's in, where is it? I'm sure there's one in that electric shop if I look. There's a bakery right there. I peeked in on my way over. Everything is hearts. So, yeah, we're just, February is love. You know what? Isn't that a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful drawing challenge for February? Love. Oh, I love that. Love. I even just broke my line for it, right? So, February challenge. And people are going to say, well, what the heck? How the heck do you draw love? Well, it's not far away from a gratitude list, right? What are you grateful for? What do you love? Do you love your dog? Do you love your cat? Do you love your coffee? Do you love your Jaguar glasses? Do you love Mexico City? Do you love the city you live in? Do you love traveling? Do you love the fountain over there? What is it that you love? Because that's what you're going to draw in February. Continuous line love. I'm going to continue on with my continuous line heart here as my continuous line warm-up, which is actually requiring a bit more attention because I'm trying to draw a heart properly, and I've already totally mangled my heart. But who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares if you can draw that coffee cup, or if you can draw that jumbo jet, or if you can draw that very complicated doorway, or this electrical supply. Nobody can really care. Now, there's the whole thing of likes, right? When people are, when you post your drawings, we're all sort of caught up in that whole thing of like, is anyone going to like me? Is anyone going to approve of what I have just spent my time and efforts in creating? Are people going to like my art? Believe me, I think we're all caught up in that dangerous cycle, right? I want to say, oh, I don't really care. I just post it and I don't care. But you know, if you get no likes, you care. If nobody likes your drawing, it's kind of like nobody likes my drawing, right? But then if you get like 3 million likes, then you're like, everybody loves me and I'm really good and I'm going to quit my job and just do this for the rest of my life. And maybe it's just a fluke, right? Like the whole thing is such a grand illusion, which that is the game of life, isn't it? It's a grand illusion. And like this morning I woke up with the thought, why hasn't anyone ever interviewed me? And is that an egotistical question? Maybe it is, right? But like, I'm an American. I've been living in Mexico for 1,000,000 years, and I do these really cool workshops, and I take people all over Mexico, and I myself have been all over Mexico, and I've drawn so much of it, right? And I've learned so much of it, and I have a business in Mexico, right? And it's kind of a cool thing. I think about, I'm a Midwest girl. Grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, and you know, a lot of the people that I grew up with are still in that same little well, it's not a podunk town anymore, but a lot of those people haven't left, and they're still kind of doing the same old thing, right? No judgment. I'm just saying, I've lived 1,000,000 lifetimes. And how come I've met a few people who write stories and who do reporting, and I said, hey, would you like to interview me? And twice I got, no thank you. No thank you. I'm like, alrighty. And you know what's interesting? I'm not getting into a whole gender thing, but it seems like men are the ones who like get blown up and get popular, right? Like who's the guy with the most followers in the world? He's a man who sketches, right? There's that guy, Chris Lloyd or something like that. He's getting invited to Lady Gaga and Beyonce and probably Taylor Swift concerts, and he draws them all, right? And that's super cool, and I love it, and I love to see it, and I love to follow it, and I love that sketching gets some acknowledgement out there. Okay, so there's Wendy Mack. She's popular, and she's got her daily drawing groups, right? Super cool. She has a huge following. With good reason. I'm not trying to, like, say no one is worthy of a big following. But why do all the bigger sketchers, why are they all men? Why is that, huh? I mean, I suppose you can say that about a lot of industries, right? So, again, I'm going to back out of that whole gender issue. Look at how crazy my heart is getting. No truer words have been spoken, right? So yeah, I'm not going off on the whole gender thing, but I literally awoke with the question, why hasn't anyone ever interviewed me for my work and what I'm doing here in Mexico? And honestly, maybe nobody cares. Nobody cares, right? That's what I have to just keep telling myself, that nobody cares. Nobody cares that I'm sitting in the street drawing. Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. Who should care? Why should you care? Why should I care, right? Except that I know that having a drawing practice in my life has pretty much saved my life, right? Like February, that's the month my mother passed away, and so in the Facebook memories and all that stuff, it's like it's already come up, right? Like when my mom was in the hospital, before we moved her to hospice, I used to read her the police blotters because that was the only thing that made her laugh. Find out who got arrested. And oftentimes it was people we knew. And I was just thankful it wasn't me, right? Or my brothers, right? So yeah, it just came up in my Facebook memories, me reading the police blotter to my mother, who was really coming undone, right? So it was when my mother, before she parted, she said to me, I was wrong about you. I wish I had been nicer. And I was like, oh, stop it. And she was like, no, really, I was wrong about you. She loved me, but she preferred my brother. She liked talking sports, weather, and traffic. And so everyone in my family just looked at me like a huge weirdo, right? And I was, and I am. And I'm totally okay with it now. But when you're young and everyone looks at you like you're a freak, it molds who you are, right? Or it molds who you become in some way, right? So my mother always kind of looked at me like, oh my God, here she goes again. Oh my God, here she comes again, right? Like I was always asking questions, I was always doing weird things, and everyone else just wanted to watch the Cubs, the Bears, the Packers. Go Bears. Okay, so then, yeah. Hi, doggy. Another one. So, yeah, it was pretty monumental in my life when she said to me, I was wrong about you. I wish I had been nicer. It changed the whole trajectory of my life. I had to change everything, and not even by choice. It was like a force greater than me. It just set me on a path. I had to start drawing. I had to leave Chicago. I had to start drawing. And I haven't stopped. And I owe it to my mother. And, people have said to me, well, you don't owe it all to your mother. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not trying to be like, yeah, I owe her everything. But it really, that moment, there are times in our life that just change. They change on a dime, right? And my mother saying those words, I was wrong about you. I wish I had been nicer. Game over. And what I mean by that is that I died. My previous life died in that moment, right? And I had to move on to the next reiteration of my life, which is what I'm in right now, right? So, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, I'm talking about how drawing can change your life, and love can change your life, right? Love is, my mother's apology, or acknowledging that she wished she had been nicer, was love. It was love. And everything changed in that moment. I can barely get through this sort of stuff without crying because it was so huge. When our mothers die, it's pretty big, right? Like I haven't, of all the things I've witnessed, of like people Of course, losing children is horrendous, like the worst thing in the world, right? And nobody, well, anyways, I'm not even going to get to like comparing it, but when our mothers die, it's a very big shift, right? And so for me, that was the big shift in my life. I had to change everything. When my mother died and told me she wished she had been nicer, I died and became the next version of myself. So yeah, that is love, and love is why I had to start drawing, because love changed my life, right? Love showed up in my life and said, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I wish I had been nicer, right? I've got my hair is going all over the place, right? So, so we're in February and it's Love Month. So the drawing challenge for the month of February is love. Love, love, love. Finish big. Oops. Finish big with a heart. Keep on drawing. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? And I'm just filling my page with hearts. Now I got the hiccups. I'm here in Mexico City for a few days, and then I'm off to Oaxaca. I'm getting things all squared away from my Oaxaca workshop. Pretty excited about that. I've been in Oaxaca at Valentine's Day. It's full of hearts. It's full of it's full of hearts, right? The church, they have big hearts in front of it. And I'm starting to see, it's only February 1st, so we got 2 weeks of solid hearts. Hola. Hi. At least the guys are waving at me when they go by. In San Miguel de Allende, they roll their eyes at me like, oh my God, another one of these idiots. The few people who I've noticed have noticed me. Because oftentimes I'm just invisible, and I'm totally okay with that. But the few guys, and then they've been guys that have noticed me, like, oh, what's she doing? And look at that little doggy. Happiest dog in the world. Can you see that little doggy? High dog traffic right here. What was I saying? I can't even, oh yeah, I'm getting ready for Oaxaca, which is full of hearts, and I've had some changes to my agenda. We're in pandemic era, right? Like, so things are just things change on a dime when you're talking about international art workshop travel, right? Like, I used to get really upset when like someone had to cancel or something changed or a thing went away, whatever. Now you just got to roll with it. You got to continuous line with it, because people are getting sick and have to cancel their travel plans, or someone in their family is sick. Financial concerns, climate concerns, political. I mean, it goes on and on and on, right? And so, as someone who's doing international workshops in Mexico, where people kind of have fear about Mexico anyways, I mean, if you're coming from the United States, you honestly shouldn't be afraid about any other country in the world, because you're the United States and you're a scary country. And Mexico, there are places that are scary, but generally speaking, it's very, they don't have the they have different gun violence, right? They have different gun violence here. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, they don't have gun violence here. They do. And it's a tangled war with the United States. And the United States oftentimes likes to just blame it all on Mexico. And we all know it's more complicated than that. Anywho, I'm not going to go off onto the whole gun debate. Should we talk gun debate? Let's talk Trump too, right? The rapist, Trump. Okay, in case you can or cannot see it, I have some red splotches here, and I've just made an appointment with my dermatologist, because I'm a very white person living in Mexico, and I have to keep an eye on these things. And I was told in my dreams I need to check with my dermatologist. So if anyone sees that, I have made my dermatologist appointment for when I get through this workshop. I'm moving back to San Miguel, and I have an appointment with my dermatologist, because us whiteys, whiteys, I don't mean to say that, because in 2024, that's a dangerous thing. Us Karens have to watch ourselves in the sun, right? I mean, we have to be able to tell people what to do and give them our opinion, so you got to stay healthy. Oh my God, what am I doing here? I am finishing big with a heart, finishing big with a heart, finishing big with, go easy on myself and go easy on others, because these are complicated, it's a complicated era, right? It's a complicated era. I just found out I can get a vaccine here, and I'm trying to decide if I should do that before I go to Oaxaca. I don't know, because I'm not going to get into that whole debate. I am very much pro-vaccine, but I also know that I kind of need some time, and so I think I'll do it after my workshop. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so February is hearts. Hearts, hearts, hearts. Finish big with the heart. There's a big heart right there. I cracked it wide open as I was talking about my mother, because my mother's acknowledgement of me cracked my heart wide open, and I had to change everything about my life, and I died and started anew, and that literally happened February 2013 is when I died. I mean, I really did die. I thought I was dying. I even went to my doctor. I said, I'm having a heart attack. I'm dying. This was all after my her funeral and everything. And my doctor said, no, you're just having a panic attack. And she wrote me a script for Valium. And I was like, I'm not doing pills anymore. I'm not doing any more pills. And I ripped up that prescription, and I have never gone back to that, right? Not that I had some problems with pills earlier in my life, but not at that time. But I knew at that time in 2013 that prescription for Valium was not the solution to dying and being reborn, right? I knew I had to do a different way, and I've been on a different path ever since. And it's a lonely path sometimes, but it's a worthwhile path, right? It's brought me back to Mexico. It's brought me to my art. It's brought me to the cows. It brought me to the cañada. I'm still working with the cattle ranch. That's very important heart work for me too. Cows, very tied into my mother. Cows, very tied into the Irish way, and so the whole cow art drawing. Hi, cutie. Hola. I got 3 doggies here. Hi. Hello. Hey. So that death and being reborn connected me to my art, to cows, and to my heart, right? And so here it is, February. So we're going to draw love. Love, 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 love. Okay, everyone, I got to go. I got to get to my Zoom class because I have to go over to Condesa to do that. Great to see everyone here today. Keep drawing your lives. February 1st, it's all about love, okay? Love. See you later. Bye.